Hi guys, welcome back. Walking along today, I was thinking how I can help some of you that are unsure of shooting people to help you in the summer season to get over the fear of shooting people. Because there is a way of shooting people that want to be shot, which will give you the confidence to go out and shoot street. And it's something I tend to do in the summer. It's completely different to what I teach in the way of street photography, because street photography for me is not changing the dynamic in the scene and shoot it candid. There's some of the shots you will either see in this video or in the community below that I'll add that are candid shots within a festival environment. And some of them, obviously, I'm engaging with the people. There's a lot of the photographs that I've taken in this series where I've spoken to the people afterwards and we've had a bit of a laugh about it. There's a series that I will show another time when I make another video about creating something and getting caught by the people I was doing it with that could have gone either one way or the other, and how a smile changed that. That's not for today. I've shown it in a previous video. I can't remember which video it is, but if I can find it, I'll link to it below. So let's start off. The header video for this and the Medusa in Bold Street. Now, when I first heard about Basilica UK, I wanted to try and get a unique shot. I'd seen loads of photographs of Basilica online, and I got a photo pass, which I'm going to come on to in this video as well, to shoot Basilica. Now, the first time I got a pass, I met where everyone met, and we walked with the crowd in front of the floats and the dancers, all the way from where the starting point was into town to the finish. And I thought, this is not the place I want to be to photograph this. I looked at all the photographs of Basilica and I wanted to create something different, and maybe even their poster. And so I set about following for a couple of years to see where a good vantage point would be to get a shot. I then realised that because it's a festival of, a floated carnival type thing, that the light changes very dramatically, and I don't think I had a lens to shoot the what I wanted in my mind. So I went out and bought a 300mm 2.8 lens. I actually got it off of eBay. I got it for a really, really good price. Combine that with my Nikon D3S, I could probably get the light low enough to get the shot if everything went wrong. And to be honest with you, it started to go wrong on the day. I got myself to the bombed out church in Bold Street. If you live in Liverpool, you'll know where it is. If not, you can just Google it. And I stood up there by the bombed out church with a 300mm lens looking down Bold Street. And I had an idea in my head that I wanted the Medusa float at a certain point in Bold Street to capture the huge crowd, what was going on in the crowd, and the Medusa to be the main focal point. Well, I got what I wanted, as you can see. The light was dropping drastically. If you really, really zoom into some of my shots on this, you can see that because the light was dropping drastically, I had to whack the ISO up to get the shot. And luckily I had a reasonably fast lens to keep everything in, where it needed to be to get the shot without too much grain. Now, obviously I'm not that worried about a bit of grain, but obviously it was going to go on a big colour poster. I had to have a little bit of concern about that. You wanted to have some nice colours and not have them all washed out. And back then, photo processing wasn't as good as it is today. So I stood there, I waited, it's got darker and darker. Luckily the float went down at the right time and I got the shot. If you actually look in close at some of the shots that I've taken, I'll include a few of them here, and I'll include a few in the community comments below. And the main shot I shot for colour. There are a couple of black and white ones I'll include. But you'll see the bulk of all the photographers and the people taking pictures are all around the Medusa float taking the same picture. And the only reason my image stands out of the crowd and has probably been on the Basilica poster for years and years and years, and is on there every time they do Basilica, my picture ends up going out there on social media. And that is because it stayed unique and no one else has actually recaptured or recreated that. And why? It's because I took absolutely ages, probably 3 years, 4 years, to work out where the shot was and get the shot. Now, I'm not saying someone's not going to get a better shot than that one day. What I'm saying is I took the time out to think about it, plan for it, prep for it, get the lens for it, get the camera for it, get the shot. No, by no easy feat was that done. It took me a lot to work out where to stand and get the shot. I think it works. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. So in the off season, I recommend festivals. Now, I'm not going to go too deeply into this because I know I'll offend some professional photographers and I don't want to do that at all whatsoever, but there's room in this game for everybody. When you go to a concert or something, it's quite difficult to get a photo pass or a press pass, but you can do it. Set yourself up an absolutely amazing social media account, put all your photographs on there, show the people what you do, tell them what you're going to do, tell them where you're going to put their pictures, offer them pictures in exchange, and you might just get a photo pass. Completely different to a press pass, but you might get a photo pass. If you get a photo pass, learn the rules. Usually if you're shooting in front of the stage, it's the first 3 songs and off. And don't get in other photographers' ways. Some people are there getting paid and you're just there to get a few photographs which you're going to give to the organisers and put on your social media. That's how a lot of the professionals start out. There is nothing wrong with it. Just email the organisers of whatever event it is. See if you get a photo pass. Obey by the rules. Keep out of everyone's way and learn how it works. The downside to that is, I know someone that once got a photo pass to an event and one of the band's partners was drunk. And this person proceeded to photograph this band's partner behind the scenes as she was dancing around a pole, extremely drunk and off her face. I don't know what he did with those photographs, but I know the organisers were really pissed off that this guy was doing this, and I wouldn't have thought he'd ever got an invite back. So behave. You're not there as a journalist. You're there to photograph for the event and keep it happy and light. Don't take nasty shots of things that people don't want to see. The whole idea of these events and the organisers is to keep it nice and keep it fresh and upbeat in your posts and everything else. It's not to destroy the event. You're not a journalist at these events. You've got a photo pass. So you want to keep it positive. The whole idea of everything I do is try and keep everything positive and upbeat. When you get to one of these events, you are looking for something different. This actual image of this couple underneath this bin because it was pouring with rain. There's a whole series of these and I will add them into different videos I do at different events. And if you look back through my Instagram account, you will be able to see that I've included all these anyway. So there's a couple under the bin. I really like this. There's a whole series of these shots here and I can't put every single shot online because some of them they're doing something they shouldn't be, and I would get sort of penalised online for it, I expect. But anyway, go out there and when you go to these events, look for something different and look for something different that no one else has got that's there. There'll be hundreds of photographers at these events, and when you get home and you look at your images and you put them all on Instagram, etc., you will see that a load of other people have shot the same person. So try and be a bit unique. Try and photograph things that other photographers can't see, and don't go running and tell all your mates what you've got. That's my top tip for that. The next image here was actually used by Africa Oye for one of their events. There's a poster on one of the organisers' walls as well. And it just shows the diversity of the whole of the crowd and the fact that there's young people, their families and everything else. And, you know, if that's what the event is all about, Africa Oye every year wins awards for how good it is, how there's no trouble, how it's a family event open to everyone. You can take your barbecues to the park, you can take your own drink, everything. So try and show that and try and show that in your social media accounts and then send all your images into them so they can use them as well. Obviously, if you're getting paid, it's a totally different ball game. But so, as I say, some people do and some people don't. You're just trying to get a photo pass. So just try and be polite and nice and keep everything upbeat. Now, I photograph Africa Oye every year. I'm probably not photographing it this year. I've had trouble photographing it since my stroke. I can't seem to get my head around getting the right images. So, you know, I'm not going this year. I know a couple of people aren't. So get your emails in for a photo pass this year. You might get one because there's a lot less of us going this year. So keep photographing as well. If it's pouring with rain, put a raincoat on and stay there. There's a couple of images here. It's raining and don't stop shooting because then you start getting something more interesting and more unique. And the way I look at it is, you know, whether it's a lovely, bright, sunny day or not, people are still happy to be at a festival. They're happy to be photographed. So engage with them and shoot and shoot and shoot and get some good stuff. Obviously, over the course of the day, the more drunk people get, the more they'll actually engage with you. And sometimes it's a little bit annoying because everyone wants their photograph taken. But on the other hand, that really will help you. They're always going to smile. They're going to cuddle each other. They're going to get in front of the camera. Being a nightclub photographer, I've done a little bit of in the past, is absolutely brilliant because everyone wants their photograph taken, whereas on the street there's a lot of people that don't. So it's a complete contrast and it's really, really good. I find it very, very exciting. People on the stalls as well, don't ignore the people on the stalls. Go and shoot the people on the stalls. They'll always be happy to have their photograph taken and advertise their stand, especially if it's going on social media or Twitter or Instagram that night, because people are going to see it for the next day. Talking about Twitter, as much as I hate Twitter, I've gone back on Twitter. I've just opened an account. It's Matt Hart Street. Come and find me. Follow me along. The reason I've gone back on there is because I'm having a lot of problem with Instagram at the moment. For some reason, they've frozen me out of one of my accounts and they keep restricting my other two. And I don't actually know why. I haven't done anything wrong apart from putting photographs on there. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I do know a lot of other people. They think a lot of other my friends are bots as well. Maybe it's because we use the account. I don't know. Or maybe it's because we don't do stupid videos and we just post photographs. I don't really know. I haven't worked it out yet. So look for something unique and different. Look for people dressed up in unusual clothing like this guy with the hat and the goggles on. Look for people staring into nowhere like this guy leaning on the barrier. He wasn't actually looking at me, but if you looked at it, you thought I'd pose this shot. Look for interesting couples and combinations like these two. Look for sequences in shots like this girl here with her hair blowing in the breeze. I'm going to include 3 here in black and white and 1 in colour. She was actually laughing with me afterwards because it was funny. She was trying to dance with the music and control her hair all at the same time. So it's a sort of a good, bad hair day, but we had a proper laugh about it afterwards. It's this girl here in particular, quite interesting, this shot, because she's actually from Australia. And I made a book about Africa Oye and some of the events I did. I put her photographs in it, and before she flew back from Liverpool University to Australia, I managed to get a copy of the book. And her mum said it's one of the best things she's ever seen her daughter do, which, don't ask me, I don't know what she's been up to in her life. But so I think she was very, very pleased to get the book and have her photograph in it. So that's the beauty of photography as well, how you can interact with people and give something back. When I shoot a lot of stuff, I will go back if it's on a 2-day event. I will go home the day before and I do some prints and I take them and give them out to a few people and a few business cards as well. Then they can come and have a look at their photographs. If you wanted to sell images that way, you could, but I guarantee you not a lot of people are interested in buying them. You've got to look for the money shots as well. The girl in the crowd putting her arms out stretched like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like a moment of euphoria that you can capture as a photographer. These people on the shoulders in the crowd always stand out, and then you always get the shot for a couple of portraits, etc. But the most important thing about these events is go to the event, enjoy yourself. It's not like street photography as far as the fact that, for me anyway, because I'm a candid street photographer, but you will get a few candid shots. I'll put a lot more down below, as I say, in the community feed, because I think the pictures look better down there. But go there, enjoy it. And if you go to an event every year, you can actually watch. There's a shot I'm not going to include in here now, but there's a shot that I have got of a girl when she was very, very young. As she grew up, she went to this event with her parents, and then she grew up to a fully grown woman, and she's dancing with all her mates at this festival. And every year she used to come up to me and say, hiya, hiya, hiya. I used to take another photograph of her. I used to send her the photograph. And so basically it's almost like a coming of age set of photographs, but that's between her and me. So I'm not going to include them today in this video, but that's what you can get, 15, 20 years of Africa Oye. I've watched people go from children to fully grown adults, from being taken with their parents to dragging their own barbecues along and then being sick behind a tree, whatever it happens. But you can follow these people's journeys. Now, in London, I was once out with a load of friends. We've been to a couple of nightclubs, and during the daytime, I think it was some festival in London kicked off, and there was DJs playing, there's people dancing in the street, there's thousands of people videoing them and taking photographs. There's events like this for free all over the country. There's like stuff goes on in Hyde Park in London, Sefton Park in Liverpool. There's lots of festivals in Liverpool, and I'm not going to name them all, you can look them all up, but check them all out. Email the people that are running them. It is a little bit more difficult with big festivals and big companies, because they tend to be run by media agencies and other agencies who want their piece of the pie. They don't really want you involved. But if you're polite and you're nice and you write the right kind of email, and you've already got something on Instagram, or you've got a website set up as a festival photographer, etc., you stand more chance of being able to get there and shoot. So it's worth putting the time and effort in before you send the email. If you've got nothing to show them, then they're just going to reject you. But if you've got something to show them, they might say, yeah, come along, and they'll watch you and see how you behave. And if you let them down, you'll never get an invite back. But just remember, the pros are there, getting paid to take the shots, so keep out of their way. And if you're new, keep your head down, keep out of the way. Don't get in front of people that are photographing. Behave yourself in the pit. To me personally, I enjoy shooting from the pit. I enjoy shooting the crowd more than I do the bands and the acts, because I know everyone that's got a pass will be on the bands and the acts. The press and the media will be on the bands and the acts. Most of the people in the pit will be on the bands and the acts because you think you've got a better shot in the pit, where actually you haven't, because people out in the audience get a better shot a lot of the time. A lot of these events now, cameras aren't allowed, phones aren't allowed, etc. So to be able to get a photo pass is a good thing. So put the time and effort in, make yourself a good website, use Instagram, etc. to put your work on. Email them, see what comes of it. And it is a really, really, really good way of honing your craft. And if you don't want to do it like that, and you just want to be a photographer or a street photographer, and you're a little bit nervous about taking photographs of people, then do these events, because it will give you a lot more confidence. And if you just put a land rod around your neck with your name on it or something, people will think you're press or your media as well and give you a bit more attention. There's loads of different ways of doing it, a little wristband on your wrist. I actually shot an event once where I thought a guy was press and media, and everyone was joking because he'd made his own press pass up. And I thought it was funny, but on the other hand, it was working for him because a lot of people were responding to him like he was press or media and getting paid. So that sort of thing does work. I'm not going to give you too many tricks and tips for that today, because find them all out for yourself. But anyway, check out my community feed below, and thanks for watching. See you on the next video.